Hey guys, welcome back to the Tone Devil Guitars YouTube channel, where you're going to just follow us along, whatever we're doing. We're going to be, I got a lot of work to do today. I'm in the shop by myself today. Yesterday I helped Dave demolish his bathroom, and he's doing a remodel in there today, so just be you and me today. I got a lot of work to do yet in the shop today to keep us plugging away on these builds before I take a little vacation, head down to Florida, visit my sweetheart, and bring her back with me. So yeah, got that to look forward to. But I'm trying to knock out these 3 NST harp guitars before I take off. And I got one of them is ready to finish sand, so I'll probably do a time lapse of that today, and you can check out my process of finish sanding. And right now I'm going to get busy with this fingerboard and headstock glue up. Got this fingerboard and this nice headstock veneer you saw in our last video ready to glue up. I've already beveled the edge of this off so that it's at the angle it needs to be for the nut and fingerboard to fit flushly up there. And I've already got this this area here blended together with this sanding block, big old iron sanding block. And yeah, so I level that area off so it's a smooth gradual graduation between the neck and the top, and then it has a little bit of fretboard fall off right there. So yeah, so and that's actually good. But all right, I'll get started. Okay, so that's all done. I got the fingerboard and headstock veneer successfully glued up, and that harp guitar will be ready for finish sanding very soon. Well, right after that cures for a while. Usually I let that set overnight, but if I'm in a hurry, I can take the clamps off and begin my next process after 4 or 5 hours. Usually I like to get a good cure up on that glue. So anyway, next I will be working on this. I'm just going to quickly take the clamps off this harp guitar and go hang it up over there. Actually, maybe I will work on this one a little bit before I get started finish sanding that other harp guitar that is already got the fingerboard and headstock veneer glued up yesterday or the day before. I think it was the day before yesterday I did that, and so that one's ready to get all the bindings scraped, and then the shaping process done, and the finish sanding. So yeah, I've got a lot of work to do today. First I'm going to take the clamps off this thing and pull it out of the mold. The mummy will be rising. The vampire will be getting out of his coffin, and then I put some marks on the lower edge here because the back's not glued on yet, so it's still it needs to have this whole rim, what I call rim sanded, and then the lining needs to get glued in. The laser kerfed lining will get glued in. So first I draw some marks on the side of it and trim the whole rim down so that as the radius of the back, if this is a top, but if it was a back, it would have a nice radius to it. And then I need to trim the whole inside of the rim so that when this gets glued on there, it fits nicely. So that's what I'll be doing next. Okay, so all the clamps are off, and I'm going to try to raise this thing up out of here without breaking anything. So got to make sure. There's a lot of clamps on this thing, so it's really easy to get it going a little bit. rough, and it's easy for it to get all tweaked in there and something could crack, so I just try to be careful with it. Tricky one. Whoa, there we go. So, a harp guitar is getting born here. Back is not on yet. And so yeah, what I do is, a little crack happened right there, a little chip out right there, but there's quite a bit extra material on this rim, so I put a bunch of marks on here. About that much, but every 1/8 of an inch I put a little mark on the waist, on the lower bout, on this lower bout. This is an NST, so it's got this crazy tuner pocket here, which makes it a little difficult to rim sand, but I put a couple marks on this side, and then at the waist, and then at the shoulder up here, and then I trim this down, and I take down the tail block until it's all nice and smooth and has a nice nice radius going from that direction, and then a little bit of a taper going this direction all the way up to the harp head block. So that's what I'll be doing next. Anyway, I'm gonna go hang this one up, I think. Well, I decided to work on this one a little bit before I hang it up. I got those marks drawn on the side there, and there, and then of course on the opposite side there and there, and so that helps me to I always mark them to 3.5 inches, and then I match up this side with this side, so I know that if I've sanded off 2 or 3 of those marks up till the last one on both sides, then it's symmetrical. That's basically what I'm trying to do, is keep the thing symmetrical, since it's a very asymmetrical type instrument. Easy to get off alignment there. Remember, this one had that cool inlay on the harp head there. Turned out really cool, those angel wings. So anyway, yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of some finger planing, or hand planing, I guess, with this thing. Try to smooth out some of these rough edges, and take any high spots down that I see right off the bat. I can tell that this one's going to take quite a bit of sanding on this tail block area, because there's a lot of proud areas where the tail block is sticking up outside of the level of the rim, so those will have to come down first, and then I can match the rim set up with the back. So yeah, another hard day of work. Okay, so I just got that done. Here's the laser kerf lining all installed. Give you a little run through of that. Looks really good. Yeah, we just use regular old office clips for that job. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab that thing and hang it up over here for a while to dry. Let that stuff cure. And I guess one more job I have to do today is brace the back for that thing. So yeah, glad you're here with me. Nothing better than togetherness. You and me. The tube of you. All my YouTube subscribers watching my video. So I'll go ahead and get the African mahogany back for that all squared away in the go-bar clamping deck over there. And yeah, I don't know, I guess I probably ought to start on that next. Once I get that done, then I think I'll pretty much be done with most of my chores for the day. which means I can start on this harp guitar and do the finish sanding. That's kind of what I'm gonna finish my day off doing. Is this? I gotta scrape all the binding out with this scraper. Like so. Works good. Use a card scraper to. This is my favorite one. I kind of made that custom curve in it, and I keep it nice and sharp. Anyway, that works really good to get that glue. Join up the walnut with the mahogany there and get rid of that glue. Then I can bust out on my pneumatic orbital sanders, and I can start off with like 100 grit, knock the top edge of the binding down to the cedar. Usually I go through the whole thing with 100 grit, and that's when I kind of do the final shaping to the neck and the fingerboard. I kind of blend those together, get some shaping done to this headstock here, kind of trim in everything, get it sanded to 100 grit, and then I drill the holes in the harp head. I've already got the holes drilled in the classical guitar. Imagine how difficult it would be to try to drill these holes in this side here with this thing in the way. So we definitely have to make sure and do that beforehand. Ask me how I know. It's no fun to get in here with a tiny little drill bit, or a great big drill bit that's been shortened to this size here, and drill this hole out by hand. I think this one you might be able to reach there with the drill bit, but yeah, this one you certainly can't reach. So anyway, that's no fun at all. So I always make sure and drill those out ahead of time. So anyway, where was I? I get this all sanded to 100 grit, then I drill all the holes, and that means drilling these the super treble tuner pocket holes right there. So those go through the top, and then I drill the Dave always calls it the bung hole, and I drill this hole out, and that's for the pickup jack. So we mount that in there, and then that's when I mount my all thread piece in there and hang it upside down for the spray booth. But so after I drill all the holes, then I go through a 180 grit sanding and 220. So I go all the way up to 220 on the whole instrument, and fill any little binding voids that there are, and trim anything down. And then I use kind of a hand sandpaper and do the edge just a little bit, because I like that to be just a little bit rounded off. And yeah, so that'll be my final project for the day. Usually takes me, sometimes I do that in 2 days. I'll work on it because it's kind of a hand wrecker on the old wrist to be cranking around that orbital sander all for several hours at a time. So yeah, that will be my final project for the day. So stay tuned. All right. For you, it's been mere moments, but for me, it's been about an hour, hour and a half. I've got most of the finish, most of the shaping and the first regimen of finish sanding done to this harp guitar here. See if I can get it to chime in there. Yeah, so I scraped off all the binding, did a 100 grit sand to the whole thing, so it's all nice and smooth. I did the shaping to the fingerboard and neck, so all the neck profile is all nice and smooth, and did the volute area here, carved all that in nicely. Had to do some little bevels here on the string slot, the tuner slots here that like the strings to roll off there nice and smooth as they come up over the nut. And yeah, basically that's the first regimen of sanding. Cut in the little heel notches there, smooth those out, and the same thing with back here. There is a little, we use a router bit to run this, and so there's always a little curved edge there. I have to kind of cut those in. So now, next I'm going to drill these holes, this hole, and these holes. So I'll go ahead and do that. All right, so anyway, I was trying to show you guys this, all these holes drilled, but it doesn't work very well on time lapse. So anyway, there's the nice holes in the harp head peg block there for the nylon string tuners. Also the super treble holes, and we were going to do, Dave made this one available for 7 super treble strings, so it's got an extra big tuner pocket there. And then we were kind of like, well, 6. We were going to do 6 because, well, the extra tuner costs more. We haven't really raised our prices. I think this instrument's going to be going to a dealer in Utah, so we were going to skimp out and just do the normal 6. But since the pocket was big enough, I decided to drill all 7 holes. We can put a 7-string tie block up here and make this one a 19-string, an NST, an S19 NST, and that stands for Symphony 19-string nylon with super trebles. S19 NST. So yeah, that's how we're running our model numbers and letters. Let's see. So yeah, symphony means this is a full symphonic range. It goes from all the way down the bass register. This low string here is tuned to either an E or an F, which the E on an upright bass. So that's a full, the lowest notes in a symphony. And then it goes up into the guitar register, which is all the middle section of a piano. And then you can play all the way up on the fingerboard, way up here. And these super treble notes that we have up here are actually redundant from the 12th fret up to the 20th fret here. That the notes are still available on this string, so the instrument actually has that register of tones on it. But having the super treble strings on there is kind of cool, and I'm getting a little more fond of them because you can do dyads and triads and chords and a lot more cool stuff in a finger picking arpeggiation application. So it does kind of it doesn't really extend the range of the guitar to have the super trebles. The bass strings extend the range significantly, but the super trebles don't extend the range of the guitar because, like I said, the notes are available on that high string, but they're just really hard to access, and you certainly can't play 2 of these high notes at once until you get pretty far up the register, so you can have one finger on each of those 2 strings and way up in that high register without moving that chord voicing somewhere else. But having them up here gives you a lot of really cool options with that. So they're pretty cool, and I think we were able to kind of fit 7 of them in here. It's usually pretty difficult to get this. This is a pretty small guitar body. It looks big because it gets this big whole arm, but it's actually a pretty small guitar body. It's a 14.5-inch lower bout. And it's a classical guitar design. This whole section is a 12 fret to the neck connection, and it was designed and using a Hauser classical guitar that Leon Atkinson loaned us, and so we kind of copied that pretty strictly. And so it's a fairly small body, so it's hard to get all of those super treble strings in there. It seemed to work out best with 6, and I still like the 6. That's quite a bit of arpeggio range up there on the super treble strings, but Jamie Dupuis wanted 7 on his new model, and so we were able to fit those on there without too much trouble. And I think we're going to try that again on a few more, and who knows, maybe we'll just keep it to 7 from here on out, but we'll see. So next, I guess I'm going to do the rest of the finish sanding regimen to this thing, so you can watch that. I've already done most of the tough work, shaping all this stuff, like I said. So yeah. All right, so as you can tell, that last job that I did was not the rest of the finish sanding. That rest of that job was the bracing job for the back bracing of the next harp guitar that I was putting the lining on. So yeah. Anyhow, I kind of fooled you there. Let's see if Al Turtle is hungry. Looks like, oh, hey there, little buddy. How you doing, little buddy? I put some fish food or some turtle flakes and some turtle pellets in here earlier, but he didn't, and I don't see him anywhere. Come on, Al, get that. So he must have ate some of them. There's also a fish in here somewhere too. A shabunkin goldfish I put in there to keep Al company, and I don't really see it very often, although I did see it, however, today, this morning, early, and so I know it's alive and doing okay. It looked like one of its fins was a little bit, looked a little frayed or something, but other than that, it looks like it's growing, and it must be finding stuff to eat down there, because I haven't been putting much turtle flakes or other pellet food in there. There's a lot of leftover bits and pieces of this stuff that I feed Al that I'm sure that fish gets a lot of food. But anyway, so yeah, there you have it. That's a day in the life of Tone Devil Guitars. Should be. I've got the reason I quit on that that finish sanding job was because I have jam night tonight over at Woody's house. Woody Anand, the old high school chemistry teacher, is also a violin maker and a fiddler. So he hosts a jam session on Thursday nights, and tonight is Thursday, so Dave's going to not be there tonight, but I will try to include a little snippet of some music over there. Come on, Al. You can figure it out, buddy. Are you hungry or no? There, I got him. Look at that. I've caught myself a turtle. All right. Catch you guys a little bit later.
Invitations or something.
I did make those for wedding invitations, yeah.
Are you getting married here or in Florida?
I'm going down to Florida on the 21st, and the wedding's the 23rd, and then in Florida, yeah, in West Palm Beach, and then we drive back.
Oh, wow.
Like a road
That's
trip
your
honeymoon.
honeymoon, driving back from Florida?
Road trip honeymoon.
Wow, that'd be great.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
Take the 2 lanes, man.
Yeah.
Stay on the 2 lanes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We also have a couple weeks in Florida where she's not working, and she's got her apartment through May, so we can take our time. We're gonna go visit like Lion Country Safari, and maybe try to see an alligator or something.
Oh, yeah. Go down, take the Everglades tour.
Yeah, Everglades. Yeah. All right, what were you doing? Sweet Sue then?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Every star above knows the one I love, sweet Sue. Just you, and the moon up high knows the reason why it's you, sweet Sue. It seems ever shed my dreams. Without you, girl, I don't know what I do. In this heart of mine, all the time, oh Sue, just you. What are you taking?